say I'm Andrew's dad. Okay. My dad and I had a great relationship. We were good friends and did a lot together. He was always ready to lend a helping hand, and he loved spending time with the children when they came along. One memorable time, we took them to the park and whizzed them round on the roundabout so fast they both fell ill, and he had to take them home to recover. My grandma was horrified to see what he'd done to them. The relationship that Andrew and I have is different, but this bond is still also very strong. It has grown steadily over the years, making lots of fond memories along the way, and we know we are always there for each other when needed. Although Grandad isn't here today, he will be just as proud of you as we are, for the man you have become and all you have achieved with your work, your excellent choice of Jane for your wife, and all you've done together to make your house a lovely home. I would like to finish by sparing a thought for all those who cannot be here today for whatever reason. So please raise your glasses, join me in a toast to absent friends.
Andrew's mum. I'd like to thank Andrew and Jane for providing us with such a great excuse for a party today. Right from the very beginning, Andrew couldn't wait for life to start. He was 5.5 weeks early and weighed just less than 5 pounds, 2.2 kilos for those of you who prefer metric. And from head to toe, fitted along the length of a forearm. As you see, he didn't stay tiny for long, but kept on growing and growing until he became the fine man towering above most of us today. Andrew liked to keep us on our toes by occasionally sleepwalking. The first time was when he was around 6. He came downstairs, switched his PlayStation on, and started playing a game, much to our amazement. It soon became apparent that he wasn't quite with us, and we got him safely back to bed. The most potentially dangerous incident was when staying away from home on a school trip. This might not appear too problematic, but I should point out that the accommodation was on board a canal barge. Thankfully, the teacher woke up in time to stop any mishap, but I would dearly have loved to see the expression on his face. Andrew has always loved playing games, both computer and board games. If allowed, he would play for ages on his PlayStation, or on our ancient Atari set, probably not many of you remember those, with his younger sister Katie. Katie was always keen to join in with her big brother, while Andrew tolerated having a little sister around. When it became apparent that Katie was actually quite fearless when it came to the computer games, however, her skills were soon sought by Andrew to get him through the more scary bits. Mostly, this involved her getting his character past the gruesome guillotine in Prince of Persia, which would cut you in half if you didn't catch it just right. She usually did this with good grace, and their bond was sealed. Andrew is passionate about new ideas and will research tirelessly to find the best possible result. He has never worried too much about being conventional and so decided not to go on to college after school. Instead, he found himself an apprenticeship placement in motor mechanics, and when that ended, he found another in motor vehicle parts. Andrew worked hard and got promoted to supervisor. He then realised how much he missed learning new things and decided to go to college. Katie was always the saver in the family, but Andrew proved he can save too if required, and put by enough money to pay for his 2 years at college. For the first time, he followed Katie along the education path, and like her, he passed his exams with flying colours, then searched and found jobs that later led him to the university where he is today. For all his enthusiasm to get on with life, Andrew has plenty of patience when required. When he was little, he could sit for ages on the floor outside Granny's room, waiting for her to wake up so he could go in for a chat. On the subject of chatting, it has to be said that this is something in which Andrew truly excels. It would not be any stretch of the truth to say that in his younger days he was only ever quiet when he was asleep. I have a feeling, though, that Andrew has a good match in Jane, as She is also partial to a good conversation or two. Jane is a pleasure to be around, and we are thrilled that she is officially our daughter-in-law. I love having someone to buy all those pretty tins and boxes for that I would like myself, but sadly I've just run out of room for. Andrew and Jane are both strong characters, and we have seen them grow closer over the 7.5 years they have been together to form the strong partnership they have today. It is obvious that they love each other very much, and they have created a relationship where it is possible for each to voice their opinion, whilst being prepared to accommodate each other's wishes along the way. I hope you will always take time to truly listen to each other. I found a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, which I feel is apt. If you are considering marriage, ask yourself the question, will I still enjoy talking with this person when I'm old? Although it is rather late for the consideration part, I think the two of you will easily pass this test. Chris and I would like to say how very proud we are to be your parents, Andrew, and we wish you and Jane a very happy married life, full of love and laughter. Today's special moments will become tomorrow's lasting memories, so here's to today and all your tomorrows as you create a lifetime of memories together. Congratulations.
First of all, I'd like to say on behalf of Andrew and Jane, a big thank you for all of you to coming today and for making their day that much more special. Though a small part of me is wishing you hadn't bothered and I didn't have to do this speech. I've had the great fortune of knowing Andrew for many years now. We came together as part of the same group of nerds and misfits at secondary school, and with the help of Andrew's generosity when it came to sweets, this friendship was cemented very quickly. Growing up with Andrew was great. We were never apart for more than a week or so. We rode bikes together, played video games together, fixed cars together, though that was mainly me passing tools. We've even got drunk together, which obviously brings to the night where he ruined James's porch before falling asleep underneath his own car. You could even say we were like partners in crime. Again, bringing to a case where literally we broke about half a dozen traffic laws. Though it didn't seem like at the time, we were lucky that Sam was the only one who caught us, resulting in Andrew being banned from using his moped for quite some time. But the main thing I remember from our school days is the fact that we were quite often referred to as the old married couple. This was mainly due to our constant arguing and the fact that we are quite competitive with pretty much everything we do. To this day, there are a lot of people who refuse to play Risk with us. But I think that rivalry is the aspect of our friendship that I treasure the most. I think that, combined with your constant loyalty, has always pushed me to be a better person. And now I come to Jane. Beautiful, full of wisdom, and luckily for Andrew, fond of dumb animals. I'd say I've witnessed that you've definitely brought out the best in Andrew in the time you've been together, and I know that he would do anything to support you whenever it comes. So today is the beginning for a wonderful adventure for you two together, full of greatness, endless possibilities. So I'd just like to say congratulations, and if anyone can join me with toasting Andy and Jane.
Right, now I get the pleasure. Now, this is not my bit of paper, so this is going to be the most eloquent thing I say, but seriously, I cannot recall another day where I could possibly have been anywhere close to as happy as I am standing here right at this moment, looking out at pretty much every single person in the entire world that I love, just thank you so much for being here. It means an awful lot to me. Right. When Jane and I met 7.5 years ago, it was as clear to everyone else as it was to us that we had a special connection. And it didn't take long to know that it was going to last. This was confirmed by a French couple with whom Jane travelled whilst hitchhiking to Africa. She was told that I was a keeper, solely on the strength of the chocolate brownies I baked, which she was using as currency for her ride. Since then, I've been sharing with Jane the life of a petrolhead and a geek. She didn't take a lot of persuasion. And learning from Jane the life of an explorer and an artist. On this exact same Saturday, 4 years ago, months of plotting, scheming and barefaced lying paid off when I proposed to Jane in a medieval city with a flying hawk and an 800-year-old ring, followed by a surprise weekend of celebration with some of our dearest friends, many of whom are here today. Life with Jane is never boring. I have fond memories of the time spent adventuring together with our family and our friends. I remember our first proper weekend away, a stunning spa hotel in the heart of the Welsh countryside with a wonderful drive through the hills, fabulous food where the staff made us feel like royalty. I have vivid memories of walking on foreign beaches at sunrise, drinking cervezas on a catamaran in the Mediterranean Sea, and standing speechless with Jane in the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. We even scored VIP entry into a packed-out international airshow. Holiday with the Collinses and Crowleys are also never dull. I particularly recall chairlifts over the cliff at Allen Bay and being encouraged to sneak into the empty chalet next door to steal the use of a hot tub, which we didn't have. Thanks, Joe. I remember how much fun we had when I taught Jane to drive, and the many wonderful long car journeys spent talking about everything from finances to philosophy. I've never been much of a risk taker, but Jane has encouraged me into many spectacular opportunities, such as quitting my job at 22 to return to education, moving 250 miles away from home to live together in York, and gatecrashing a fun, exclusive fundraiser full of Barcelona's elite, even jumping out of a plane despite my immense fear of heights. It's astonishing how much we've become close with the important people in each other's lives, spending many a weekend playing games, taking trips, sharing wonderful food and conversation with the people that we both love. Now, it's well known that a problem shared is a problem halved, but people seldom talk about how wonderful it can be to share your life with another person. Jane is my best friend. We're always on the same team. And even when we don't agree, we trust and respect each other completely. Sharing my life with Jane makes times of sadness only half as upsetting. Frustrating tasks become half as difficult, and yet times of happiness are twice as joyful. Times of contentment are twice as satisfying, and the new adventures we take are twice as exciting. Thank you all sincerely for being here today. Sharing this day with so many people we love has made this a truly unforgettable occasion. I am particularly thankful for my parents, to whom I will be eternally grateful for always supporting, guiding and encouraging me, even though at the time I didn't think I wanted or needed it. I'm grateful for my friends, for embracing my quirks and for giving my life such variety, colour and depth. And I'm grateful to my new family for welcoming me so warmly into their home and their lives, even though I had funny long hair and came along as a hopeful suitor to their daughter, a position no parent would ever see filled lightly. I'm grateful to my teachers and work colleagues, and even to the bullies and the horrible bosses. I'm grateful for every decision I've made, good and bad, because it's all led me right here. And most of all, of course, I'm grateful to Jane, for seeing the ability and ambition in me that I've never seen myself, and for never letting me give up on the things that matter to me, for always having the time to look after me, even when she's not feeling so great herself, for engaging so enthusiastically with all the things I'm passionate about and always celebrating my success, and for teaching me so much about love, companionship and the world around us. Having you by my side makes me twice the man I ever thought I could be, and happier than I ever dreamed possible. I nearly made it, nearly. May I finish by proposing a toast to the people in our lives that we couldn't live without. Cheers.
any of you that thought you were going to get a short round of speeches are obviously going to be disappointed. And I have two things to admit before I start. One is that I left my speech in the hotel, so this may be a little on the fly. And I have the SparkNotes version here, so apologies. And two, that I decided to go last on the basis that I assumed that all my material would be stolen by everyone preceding me. I was proved right, so I'm ad-libbing slightly anyway. But basically I have the best job today in that I get to say thank you to everyone that has helped us to make today so special and stop me from stressing out and killing everyone in the lead up. Am I? I really don't think I am, but okay. So many people have been so generous with their time, and we both feel really loved and honoured actually to have you all here. So in no particular order, I'm going to try and run through everyone that's made today brilliant that hasn't already been mentioned, and probably some that already have. So first off, huge thanks to Mike and the team at Barton's Mill for making this an amazing day and really stress-free. You guys are the best. Thanks also to Alan for being our chauffeur for the day and for offering up your beautiful car, which I think is probably Dad's highlight of the day. That was amazing and really nice to arrive in style. Thanks to Nadira for the beautiful flowers that are far better than the things I had envisaged, which was basically getting something from Tesco's and sticking them in jam jars. I know they took so much work and they're beautiful, thank you so much. Oh, it's gone blank, hang on. Thank you to Big Jane. Some people won't know what I mean by that, but that's Big Jane over there. Bigger than me, so yeah, in this relationship. Anyway, let's move on before this gets awkward. For the bunting, yes, which is making the place look beautiful, and also thank you to Alice for not minding that we nicked it. And thank you also for your lovely reading, you were a star, and for getting here on time at the end. Thank you to David for acting as Master of Ceremonies. You did a cracking job and managed to make the slightly shonky ceremony that I threw together sound really good. Thank you to everyone that's made cakes for our afternoon tea later. I feel we may have slightly overdone it, so I hope you're all really hungry and love sugar. Thank you to Sam for her great speech, and also for coming down and helping me to ice 100 or so cupcakes without destroying my kitchen and leaving icing sugar halfway up the wall. Thank you to Sean for getting Andy here on time in one piece, and also for your amazing speech, which was lovely. Thank you to Michael for ushering services rendered. There he is. Hello. And to everyone who's travelled absurd distances to be here. I know Dad's already mentioned the Australian contingent, but also to Eleanor, who's come all the way from Spain, and to everyone that's come from north of the Watford Gap, which possibly is the worst of all those journeys. Thank you to my brothers, who are the best in the world, and who have said more lovely things to me in the lead up to this wedding than probably ever in my life to date, and who have consistently made me cry. So thanks very much. You are both wonderful. You did beautiful readings even when people couldn't really understand what you were saying. You're the best. Thank you to my gorgeous bridesmaids for making the preparation for today so much fun. Particular thanks to Katie for organising my amazing hen do with bottomless Prosecco, which frankly was always going to be a good idea. And to Lizzie for her amazing reading/speech thing in the middle of the ceremony, which was also awesome. I've lost my place, so this is great. Oh yes, thank you to Sam, Chris and Katie for making me feel part of the family pretty much as soon as I walked in the door. Oh God, this would be so much easier if I had it on paper. And also to my utterly wonderful parents, who really made this wedding happen at all in many ways, and have been so excited about it ever since it became a possibility that it was really going to happen rather than just be a pipe dream that we would talk about for years on end. Thank you for doing a fantastic job of raising all four of us Crowley children into the slightly odd adults that we have become. And just thank you for always being super supportive and amazing and slightly mad. Shut up. And thank you for your speeches. Thank you, Mum, for your really moving words about both of us, and thank you, Dad, for not lapsing into calling me a great big lump using any of my embarrassing childhood nicknames. Thank you. Or mentioning nudity on any level, so well done. And I think I've got everyone, but if I haven't, thank you all for being here, and if you have done extra things, thank you, and I'll probably grab you later. As I say, it was all on paper. So last of all, I guess, I have to say thank you to my newly minted husband, Andy. Yeah, you get to be embarrassed now, it's good, isn't it? everything Andy does is incredibly thoughtful and kind, and actually I think he's probably just the kindest person I've ever met. There isn't a bad bone in his body. To give you an idea, actually, his early attempts at romantic meals are probably one of the best examples. Some of them were really great, some of them less so. I think a pioneer of chicken breast in cider with cherry tomatoes to rival Gordon Ramsay. However, the point is that he has always tried to make everything so special, and it's just been a real pleasure coming to know you better and better every day. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yes, nearly there. So, yes, Andy has just been the most amazing supportive partner in my life. I probably couldn't have got to where I am today without you. I imagine I would have probably got myself lost in some far-flung country without any money and having lost all my clothes. You are my support, you are my stability, and you are always looking out for me, and I really look forward to having a life together.